looks like we're going live. And let's see. My one test is waiting still. And this should be already started. So let's try this again. Okay. Okay, how about this? Do I hear myself? Okay. Okay, good to know. Now, let's see. Can you hear? Oh, wow, I muted my mic. So once again, once I hear myself, I am going to start. Okay. So with that, hello everyone. This is Lunanoid or Learn with Loon. I don't know what I'm going to actually go by. I just wanted to start streaming. And yeah, so over these next few streams, I'm just going to be doing something today. I'll be trying to make a photograph, specifically looking at the original Earthrise. So what I always wanted was a colorized version here. So this is Apollo 8, and you can see here AS8. All of these photos are available online for free because Apollo 8 was a government-backed trip, government-funded trip to the moon. I mean, I say trip. And on that it was, I believe, the first trip with astronauts to go all the way around the moon and head back to Earth. It wasn't, however, the one where the astronauts actually landed on the moon. This one was just to see if they can get a rocket around the moon with astronauts. I think Artemis is preparing for this specific launch soon as well. I should have probably double checked that before I started the stream. But at some point on the return journey, I believe the astronauts looked out the window and saw this gorgeous view of not the moon rising above the horizon of the Earth, but of the Earth rising above the horizon of the moon. Let me get a bit closer. And they quickly snapped it with whatever camera they had, and then they went digging around and found their color camera to snap this. Let's see as soon as it loads. So this photo, and yeah, sorry, this is taking a bit of time to load. Don't have a particularly powerful computer. And these photos are very big in terms of file size, because these are the sort of originals, or not original scans, but these are the high resolution scans. I will be explaining what I'll be doing with them pretty shortly. But then this photo was then adapted to many different versions that have been since publicized. So we have this one, and we have the iconic stamp and I believe cover of some magazine. And for what it's worth, this is a gorgeous shot. So just going back to this one, right? And then here's just another photo, sort of showing a reference. And let me just briefly explain what I actually want to do here. So, what I would like to do is I would like to take this over here, and I would like to colorize it using the information from this one, because the Earth spins very slowly, right? Only one rotation a day. Okay, I should not have clicked on that one. So the Earth only does one rotation a day. So the change in rotation from here to here, or more specifically from here to here, isn't really that big. So the image is basically the same. So if I can just superimpose the color data from here onto here, I should get a very good match for what the color should look like. There is the question of what the color of the moon should be. Still haven't decided that. And I don't know. Like, a part of why I got this picture over here. This is from one of the rovers, I believe. Is just to sort of try to understand what color the moon should be. We have this, we have that. And we'll decide as we move along this. I don't know, I might finish this over the course of the stream, I might not. I'll be checking chat throughout this entire time, seeing if anyone is watching. And one more thing I should point out I will be doing is, or just wanted to point out one more thing for people watching the live stream. I didn't quite understand why it was that my stream hadn't started, and as it turns out, there's an extra button that I didn't notice where I had to start my stream. So let's begin with this. So, yeah, I should probably close that out. And let's do that. Admittedly doing this off screen on a second monitor. See if I can try to avoid doxing myself as much as I can. And yes, so what I can do, or what I will do here, I already have a bit of a older rough draft of this, of what I wanted to do. So I have this. Sorry about that. I have this. And yeah, so I have here the moon. And here this is just matte. A matte or a cutout of the moon and some of the, or of the Earth and then some of the moon. And we'll try to figure this out. So I'm wondering if I should make a new one, make a new picture, or just try to use this. And if I should maybe do this in some other software. Let's see, is there anything else I should close to save up on memory? Okay. So how many viewers do I have? Still 0. If you are watching and it's not showing you, feel free to say hi in the chat. So let's see. Affinity photo. And let's see if I can just drag in the photo that I want to use. As the reference into Affinity. Can I do that? No. Looks like that's a yes. Okay. So here I have this photo. And let's see if I can add in the other one. Okay, let's see, this is still loading, so it's probably still loading the photo in. Now the color in, from what I remember, was like almost, if not entirely, oh yeah, it's 1.36 gigabytes, so it's going to take a while, but yeah. So looking at this film over here, right, we see that it is, oh, looking at this film, we see that it's Kodak stock, for what it's worth. And can I change the color profile on this? Okay, file. This is Finder, file. So Affinity, file. Let's see. Huh. Edit. Document. Okay. Okay, so what I want is a color format. Let's see, what is the color here for this one? So it's a TIFF image. Oh, color space RGB. How useful. Yeah. Well, while I'm looking at it, it's downloaded from Arizona State University. And that's all I'll say. So I'm seeing a bunch of linear color profiles, which I don't know if that's a good idea. So we have Adobe RGB. Oh. How about instead of doing that one, why don't I take a look at... Oh, okay, good. So it actually did do something here. Okay, so document, convert format. This is an RGB 16. So I might as well use that, right? So document. Okay. There. Convert format to RGB 16. Convert. Now I wonder if it deleted all the colors. But yeah. Back to the viewers in the chat, which I don't see, and yeah, it kind of destroyed the colors from this one, so let's go ahead and delete that one. Let it catch up, and drop one more of these in. Let's see, was that the one that actually ended up? Okay. So yeah, looks like it is loading something. And yeah, once again, these are very big files. And my computer only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Okay. So kind of a lot going on. But that's a good sign. Yay. So let's see if I can full screen this again. Okay, and now I'm actually wondering if... Oh. So this is refusing to show that window. Let's see what's a good one. So we'll see if I can get the stamps to show up. Okay. And here I have been discussing things on the screen that you guys can't see. So how do I edit the properties here? So display capture. This one. Okay, maybe if I just do application capture from that display and do affinity photo. Okay, that's good. Now, how about if I go ahead and try swapping to... Okay, let's go ahead and close that. Open up this window again. Open. So yeah, I have too much open now. But let's try to get this to work. So let's go ahead and open that one more time. Okay, so let's swap over to preview for now. And yep. Okay, and let's see if I can get myself louder. Okay, so back to this explanation, and I'll see if I can figure out what to do about OBS next time around. But so once again, what I'm doing is I'm taking the Apollo 8 pictures. So once again, as the astronauts were above the Earth, or were orbiting around the moon, sorry, we're making around the moon in Apollo 8, which was one of the, it was, I believe, the first crewed flight around the moon. It didn't land on the moon, though. They looked out the window, they saw this view over here, and they quickly snapped a picture with whatever camera they happened to have, which turned out to be black and white. And then next thing you know, they rummaged around, found a color camera, took this picture, and let's see if I can get the original scan to load. But yep, took this picture, but as you can see, the Earth had moved a little bit up. Now the Earth rotates very slowly. one rotation, one entire day. So what that means for us is that this Earth looks basically identical to this Earth. And so what I'm thinking of doing here is just taking the colors from this picture and superimposing it over this picture. And that way I might get a slightly prettier Earth. Ooh, I have a viewer. Hello. So let me switch to Affinity in OBS and... Oh wait, I am the viewer. Okay. And if that's not me, then please say hi. So let's see. Screen capture, properties, and let's switch to Affinity. Okay. Let me just write this over here. And yeah. So once again, here's the color photo. What we have already done so far was change this document's color profile from grayscale, which was the color profile of the original photo, to, I believe it's 16-bit RGB. And let's see what we can do with that. So we have this over here, and what we'll want to do is we will want to align it with the Earth, and seeing as we intend to have one mask for just the Earth and one mask for the moon, and then one mask for probably the entire sky, what we'll do is I'll probably just copy the Earth over. Oh, that might actually be a good sign. So how do I get this to the perfect circle? There. That looks about right. So let's try layer via copy and OBS. Does that work? Okay, YouTube is... Let's see if the stream shows up correctly in YouTube. Okay. I'm going to be completely honest here. I have not actually used Affinity Photo before, but I guess copy paste with keyboard shortcuts should work fine. Okay, so I can try selecting that again later. let's try that again. Okay, how do I... Okay, so we have... that. Now what we can do is copy and paste this as soon as I figure out how to do that. Well, okay. So it looks like I'll just be setting up the file in this stream. But you know what? Does seem like a good option. Now, how do I get this selected? So what did I just do? Okay, that is a good sign. So let's see if I can do the same with this. Okay, why is it not selecting on that layer then? Because if you take a look, right, I just tried to do this with the background layer and there it is. But then here, there's the paste, there's the original layer. What is going on here? Okay, how about if I just try to invert the selection? By the way, can you guys see this? No, you can't. So cancel. Okay. I am mildly curious as to what's going on here. Let's try this one more time. So let's go ahead and delete all of these. And let's import one more time this guy. So he's going to take a minute to load once again. While I'm here, why don't I make this full screen? Okay, that's not going to work. Oh, okay, that's a good sign, I guess. Okay. So one more thing I can do here is I can just try to... Oh, okay, good. So I wonder why it's grayed out over here. So color reference. Okay, and again, it just selects the entire image. What is going on here? Okay, rasterize? Is that what I should do? Well, the point of these streams is to learn something. And in a few minutes I'll probably end the stream, hopefully having carved out an earth. Okay, good. It's rasterized now. So let's go ahead and close that and see if I can do this again. Except this time for it to only paste the earth from the photo. Will it do that? Okay, it's thinking. Okay, did this work? Okay, it did something. That's good. One more time. Copy, paste. Okay, that's bad. So on the bright side, I figured out that I do need to rasterize the layer beforehand. And literally nothing else. It also looks like I am running out of memory really fast here. So let's see if I can clean up some memory. Okay, ooh. Affinity Photos taking up 10 gigs. That is way too much. So what I can do is maybe reboot Affinity. In the meantime, why don't I give you guys a nice view of the stamps. So let's close that. And we're just going to redo this from scratch once it loads. Okay, and let's see, can I get it to just show the entire screen here? Oh, okay, so now it's showing the entire screen. Before it just wouldn't show the windows for some reason. Wonder why. So I'll keep it like this, and then we'll see if it actually allows Affinity to pass through once that loads up. And it looks like Affinity is closed. How is the activity monitor doing? So we're at 6 gigs of memory and 2 gigs of swap. Still steep, but let's try. So one more time, Affinity Photo. One more time. Going to drag this guy over to Affinity Photo. Oh, and we're not seeing Affinity Photo here, so let's see what I can do. So if I do it that way and then I switch it back to window capture, or sorry, display capture, now I have it displaying that, and okay. Well, that's good to know. So for OBS, I actually have to have have the windows loaded in somehow. But now that they are, what I need to do for this one over here is, oh, okay, let's close that. And what I need to do here is, so document, assign ICC profile, or let's go ahead and convert format, because what I want is RGB16. Okay, and now that I have this in RGB16, let's start applying the lessons we've learned so far. So let's go ahead and drop in the new photo and let it just load up for a bit. Okay, excellent. Now what we want to do is we want to rasterize this. And while it's doing that, let's see if we can just rename this to color source. Okay, is that what we want? Yes. Got it. So, now that we have that, or don't. Okay, good. What we're going to do is select the Earth. Somewhere there is the center for selection. We're going to hold down Command. Now it looks like I chose the center to be a little bit too far out, so let's try something a bit closer inside. And we also want to be between these two over here, so let's try something like this between the two ends. So it still looks like I'm off center, but that looks closer than last time, so let's go ahead and copy paste the Earth over there. From what I heard, this beach ball is going to disappear in the next version of macOS. It's going to be so sad. Yes, that's what I like to see. So let's go ahead and rename this to color source Earth. And let's go ahead and just briefly hide the color photo. So let's see. Looks like we might manage to achieve quite a lot after all today. So let's drop the opacity so that we can line these two up. Let's actually zoom in. And let's see. So we want something like that. With any hope, these are roughly the same size. So we have some markers here that we can try to line up against. So looks like we're rotated counterclockwise a little bit. So let's see if we can rotate clockwise a little bit. Okay, that's interesting. So the color source is blurrier, or the colors are blur. The colored image is blurrier than the black and white. It also feels like it's moving down. So let's go ahead and move it up a bit. Okay. And we have quite a few scratches here. So what we can do maybe is also adjust the brightness maybe a bit, because it does look like there's a bit more detail in these regions over here. And yeah, sorry for turning on the color on and off quite a few times here. But what we can see here, right, is that this is just basically a colorized version of that. And the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take just the chroma from this image over here and apply it to the layer underneath. Okay, that's interesting. So this thing over here doesn't show up in this image, I believe. So let's see. spacebar. Yeah, right, so it doesn't show up there. Might have to clean that one up. And these over here also look like dust as well. That's interesting. Yeah, that looks a lot more like dust than stars. So we'll see what we have to do to clean those up. Might have to adjust brightness specifically for the Earth to be a little bit brighter, all the while this over here should be a bit darker, and then maybe clean up some of these dust and scratches. What's interesting is that this chroma layer over here also has some dust and scratches that will probably need to be cleaned up. So we'll have to do that too. We'll have to color adjust the Earth, and then we'll also have to figure out what we want to do for the moon here, because I really don't like this green color they have over here for the moon. Yep. And that really looks like everything that we're going to do today, unfortunately. So let me just hide that. And yep. So that is that. So it looks like no one responded to my chat on stream. But if you are watching the VOD, feel free to say hi. If I see your comment, I'll see if I say hi. I'll try to say hi back. So what I've been doing here today is trying to align the Earth to the Earth. Trying to align the Earth from the color picture to the Earth in the black and white picture over here. And looks like we did a pretty spot on job, right? So pat myself on the back. What I didn't do was figure out how to get the chroma from this layer onto the layer below, or for that matter, anything else that I wanted to do, which was figure out the color for the moon. Because, I mean, we have, again, so for this picture, we see that it's green, which I know I don't like, but might be good. And then also we see that this Earth is kind of very desaturated. So we'll try to figure out something about that next time. And let me just reiterate, because I don't know how much of this managed to get on stream, about who I am and what this is about. So once again, I'm going to go by either Lunanoid, Loon, or something along those lines on the stream. I like it because it's basically, I have some interesting ideas about what I can do for the art for the channel, which, by the way, I will probably be making on stream just because I do need content. Altogether, what we will probably be doing here is just dev streams, or like drawing an illustration, or this, or something else entirely. Yeah, but the important thing for each of these streams is to learn something. Hopefully I can clip up some of these into just YouTube videos about how to do something. I have some ideas about what to do. That includes, once again, the channel art and a few iPhone apps, maybe some web apps. We'll see which ones we actually end up doing on stream. And yeah, thank you for watching. So we'll see how this goes. And have a good night. And once again, happy 4th of July. If the fireworks aren't over where you are, go ahead and see the fire. Go ahead and look at the fireworks. And you're probably watching this as a VOD, so no longer on the 4th of July. In that case, just have a good day. And didn't come up with an outro, so you'll see me around.